you'll sit up here and be caught unawares. If you knew all this information in advance, of course, absolutely, that's the whole point. The whole point is to Donald Trump you. That's the whole point. The whole point is to get all the attention on themselves at your expense. And it doesn't matter the age of the offender. That is the entire point. This is what they're being raised and taught. This was being groomed in the home. White supremacy is a religion. And this is one of the tenets of the religion. Black folk, you didn't make rock and roll. Damn, Mike Turner, Rocket 88. But Elvis Presley made rock and roll. Jerry Lee Lewis, the ones who were hanging out with black folk, they made it. Of course, it has to be egregious because it's not dominance if it's not egregious. So yes, it has to be big, in your face, outlandish, outrageous, because it's not power if it's not abuse.
Go back, I want y'all to hear that.
The whole point is to get all the attention on themselves at your expense. And it doesn't matter the age of the offender. That is the entire point. This is what they're being raised and taught. This was being groomed in the home. White supremacy is a religion. And this is one of the tenets of the religion. Black folk, you didn't make rock and roll. Damn, Mike Turner, Rocket 88. But Elvis Presley made rock and roll. Jerry Lee Lewis, the ones who were hanging out with black folk, they made it. Of course, it has to be egregious because it's not dominance if it's not egregious. So yes, it has to be big, in your face, outlandish, outrageous, because it's not power if it's not abuse. So that's the whole point.
Put my phone in the ring during the draft, drafted in the 6th round, and you're literally standing there with the pressure of the entire national sports world waiting on your call to premeditatedly get your door's number from your dad like a fool and prank call this person when he is waiting for his hopes and dreams to be realized in front of friends, in front of family, in front of his loved ones, in front of the national sports world. To go out of your way to be so malicious and cruel tells me you've never accomplished anything in your life. You've never done anything worth anything in your life.
Folks, let me be clear about this next part here. If this had been a black coach, a black defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, water boy, if this had been a black employee of an NFL team, and
hardcore team deathmatch,
his son,
destroy the enemy.
This happened. His son goes off and prank calls Peyton Manning on draft day. Prank calls Eli Manning on draft day. Prank calls Tim Tebow, Aaron Rodgers
We're pulling ahead
on draft day. If this were a black coach or a black employee, and his son did the exact same thing, do you think we'd be getting the message? Oh, we're understanding and we're looking into it. Can you imagine? You want to talk about fathers and their sons? Can you imagine Archie Manning standing there with Peyton Manning, and somebody has prank called his son in the NFL, and the Falcons like, ooh, well, boys be boys, he's kind of right, it's just things happen there. Are you kidding me? There would be nothing you could say. They would attempt to elevate this to a criminal offense. They would get you for some misuse of the telecommunications system. They would elevate this to a criminal offense.
Let me go back. I want y'all to hear that.
Peyton Manning, and somebody has prank called his son in the NFL, and the Falcons like, ooh, well, boys be boys, he's kind of right, it's just things happen there. Are you kidding me? There would be nothing you could say. They would attempt to elevate this to a criminal offense. They would get you for some misuse of the telecommunications system. They would elevate this to a criminal offense. Can you imagine a black coach, defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator Can you imagine them and their 21-year-old son is recording himself calling Tom Brady on draft day? And you still have a job by the weekend. You're still employed with that team by the weekend. Please tell me, you can call Troy, could you call Troy Aikman and his family on draft day? So you could do that? Because I don't think you can. As a matter of fact, I know you can't. So I just wanted to go ahead and bring that to light because you know damn well we'll be damned if you're going to have your son, Ladarius Jackson, is sitting there calling Tom Brady from a number that he got off of his dad's iPad. They would be saying, dude, you shouldn't even have that number anymore. You knew we weren't going to draft him. Oh, we got to fire you, man. You're going to be fired. You're going to be blacklisted. You got to go. You got to go, man. We can't keep you. You got to go. Hey, there's the breaks, man. We can't keep you around. You're a security risk. You know, this was reckless and irresponsible. This was confidential information. You've demonstrated that you cannot be trusted with confidential information from the team. The other thing is, you wouldn't be seeing about the son. There would be headlines with the son and his father. If this was a black NFL coach and his son, all the headlines and papers and websites would be showing pictures of him and his son. They'd be showing pictures of him and his son. Instead, the headlines look like this. So you see, it clearly says son of NFL coach and Mr. Brain calling Shedeur Sanders. And they put a picture not of the person they're talking about. They put a picture of Shedeur Sanders. You still don't think that this is collusion. You still don't think they work together on this stuff. You still don't think that's what it is. Still don't think that's what it is. Then
We're listening to you, brother.
I see a bunch of folk trying to explain, trying to say this stuff. Refused to work out at the combine. Bombed interviews, according to who? Told teams not to draft him if they weren't ready to change their franchise and their culture. When you go and take a look at that, a reporter asked Shedeur about where, places Jackson State and Colorado, and said, everywhere you've been, you have changed the culture. That's what the reporter said. The reporter said it to him. Everywhere you've been, you've changed the culture. And if you're drafted, do you intend to continue doing the same thing? Which is very rational. For example, most of the teams in the NFL are struggling. So, it's not like the league is doing great. Let's be clear. It's not a fantastic draft going on there. Not a fantastic draft. But by the way, because you're going to see this thing said a number of different times, I want to go ahead. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can find the audio, if I can find the video itself. Let me see if I got the video itself here, as a matter of fact. But folks, he said, teams need to, if you ain't going to change the franchise or change the culture, don't get me. Well, let's see what they said so that you all can hear it in its full context.
To have them have related ability, for them to get to know me, for us to make everything smooth. So I came from an HBCU, then I went Power 5. Those two type of different players, and it's very diverse, and getting to know people, talk to people, and making everything genuine. So the path and everything I had, even with Dad being a coach, it's still been a challenge. It's still been everything because he's my dad. So you can never want to come off a certain way to people. So that's why when I'm here interacting with people, I love interacting with people because so they could truly get to know me and not just know clicks or anything like that.
Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn the audio up here as much as I can because the reporters are talking, but you can barely hear them. So I'm going to turn the volume up for you all when the reporters are asking them questions here so that you all can hear exactly what they were saying to the best of our ability.
Yes, change the culture in Jackson State.
Yeah.
Change the culture.
Okay, so he said you changed the culture at Jackson State. You changed the culture at Colorado. This is the reporter saying this. This is the reporter saying this. Shador didn't jump up there and just say, hey, I'm Shador Sanders, the so fine. And I'm putting the NFL on notice. If you're going to get me, baby, I'm taking over the team. And you're going to have to switch up every damn thing for me. New colors, new stripes, new shoes, new everything. That's not what happened. So you saw he finished answering one question, and then this is what the reporter says to him.
So that's why when I'm here interacting with people, I love interacting with people because so they could truly get to know me and not just know clicks or anything like that.
Change the culture in Jackson State.
Yeah.
Change the culture. Winning everything.
Yeah.
What can a franchise and fan base expect out of Shador Sanders when he comes in and changes the culture of the team?
That's
Okay, the reporter said, so what can an NFL team and its fan base expect when Shador Sanders shows up on their team to change the culture again? So the reporter was the one who phrased it in that manner. All he did was follow up on what the reporter said. But he's the one who said, you changed the culture at Jackson State. You changed the culture at Colorado. What can an NFL team and its fan base expect when you come to their team and you change the culture there? Now, let's be very, very clear, folks. This has never been controversial. This has never been a controversial issue before now.
yeah.
What can a franchise and fan base expect out of Shador Sanders when he comes in and changes the culture of the team?
That's the plan. If that's not what you're trying to do, don't get me. If you ain't trying to change the franchise or the culture, don't get me. So you should know history repeats itself over and over and over. And I've done it over and over and over. So it should be no question why an NFL franchise should pick me.
Okay, and the point is, if your team is losing and your team is a dog and your team is not winning and people don't love the game and they're not performing, he's been to places that were lackluster, we're not performing, we're not in gear. He showed up and him and his dad energized things. And he's like, okay, if you're not trying to change the team, don't bring me people. When you brought LeBron James to your team, were you bringing him there because you wanted to keep the same team? No, you brought in LeBron because the whole thing was, hey, we want to change our fortunes. When New Orleans brought Drew Brees here to Louisiana, it wasn't so we could do business as usual. You brought in Drew Brees because you're expected to change things. When Tom Brady went to Tampa Bay, left New England, went to Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay brought him in specifically because we're going to change everything. When they brought Troy Aikman to Dallas, we're going to change everything. Brett Favre to Green Bay, we're going to change everything. Eli Manning to the Giants, we're going to change everything. I don't give a damn who you're talking about or where they go to. James Harden, LeBron, Steph Curry, Shaquille O'Neal. When they come to a team, hey, we ain't gonna do business as usual. You didn't bring me here because you're winning. You brought me here because you ain't winning and you want to win. Okay, if you're not trying to change what you're doing and put something great out there on the field, don't get me because I'm all about changing it up so we winning. If everything's fine, why you need to draft me? So what this is all textbook. This was never controversial. This was never a bone of contention before now. The young man's letting you know, hey, if you don't want to change the way y'all do things, All of us have seen players over the years who got either drafted to teams or they had to leave one team and go to another, or they signed a contract and you didn't know if it's Jerry Jones or somebody like that or Al Davis, and you don't know what they're going to do. It's like, hey, bro, you paying me money, but don't sign me up to your team if we ain't going to change the way we do things. Okay, I got the bag. Now I need a ring. If y'all are just going to do business as usual, don't bring me. Because if I show up, I'm here to change the way y'all are doing it.
Especially this is the type of atmosphere
that
that be at your job.
Where they go to? James Harden.
You know who you are.
LeBron. Steph Curry. Shaquille O'Neal. When they come to a team, hey, we ain't going to do business as usual. You didn't bring me here because you're winning. You brought me here because you ain't winning and you want to win. Okay, if you're not trying to change what you're doing and put something great out there on the field, don't get me, because I'm all about changing it up so we winning. If everything's fine, why you need to draft me? So what this is all textbook. This was never controversial. This was never a bone of contention before now. The young man's letting you know, hey, if you don't want to change the way y'all do things, all of us have seen players over the years who got either drafted to teams or they had to leave one team and go to another, or they signed a contract and you didn't know if it's Jerry Jones or somebody like that or Al Davis, and you don't know what they're going to do. It's like, hey, bro, you paying me money, but don't sign me up.
Someone needs to turn their TikTok
the
down.
way you do things. Okay, I got
This
the
is for you,
bag.
buddy.
Now
I work with you.
So if y'all are just gonna do business as usual, don't bring me.
Why are you quiet?
Because if I show up, I'm here to change the way y'all are doing things, because the way you doing things ain't working. Now that's what you want to see. He's not talking about money. He's talking about performance.
That's right.
This has never been an issue. This is what we've always wanted to see right up until now. And the point that Robert Griffin III was making was that this is a hazing. This is a hazing of Deion Sanders and his son to let you know that you ain't going to come here and be bigger than the NFL. Because like Michael Jackson, if you are bigger than the industry, then you can control the industry, and we stole it fair and square.
You know who you are.
So let the hazing begin. So you saw what they said on Twitter there, and I wanted to play that for you so that all of you heard it in its proper context. Boy, they big mad. They big mad over there.
Yeah, they is.
And like I said, if you go down the list over there, you go down the line, this is what you keep coming up with. Now then there comes this ridiculous wretch, Courtney McKinney, University of Alabama, music lover, sassy and not afraid to show it, street name, Meemaw. Auntie Joe. Y'all, we done went from Karen's to Susan's. We done went from Becky's to Karen's to Susan's to Meemaw. Somebody's Meemaw is trying to speak on Shador Sanders. Stop the damn world and let me off. Somebody's Meemaw from Alabama has the nerve to get in public and claim that she's going to speak on Shador Sanders. This is the crazy world that we live in now, folks. This is the one we in. This is not a simulation. This is not a drill. Shador Sanders not being drafted in the first round was a win for America. 1 million impressions. She's got 23,000 followers and yet 1 million impressions. So that just tells you that when you take a look here, you can see it's a certain segment of the society Oh, man, I couldn't help but notice there's a lot of similarities going on here. Lot of similarity going on. So y'all got to watch out for, these alt-right uniforms. Back when the Gulf Wars were going on, remember the contractors? I taught y'all about that back then. Wearing their khaki pants and sunglasses, the military contractor's uniform, even for folks who were never in the military or did not work for a security company contracting. Yeah, they're wearing the uniform to let you know, oh, we're all of the same mind, the same ideology. So it doesn't even matter if they've never been in the military, never been to Iraq, never been out the trailer park. They're wearing the uniform to let you all know that, yeah, this is the uniform of those of us of the hive mind. And she's telling you that that was a win for America. How is it anti-American? What about Shedeur Sanders is anti-American? People, Shedeur Sanders ain't doing nothing that Donald Trump don't do every day. Deal with it. I dare anybody to show me one thing that Shedeur Sanders does or says that Donald Trump hasn't done for the last 40 years and has kicked it into overdrive in the last decade. Shedeur Sanders is downright humble pie compared to Donald Trump. So if Donald Trump is the example and fine, how is it that Shedeur Sanders is not? There's not a single thing that you can say about Shedeur Sanders, no word to him or his father said, that Donald Trump isn't 5 times as boisterous and failing. By the way, one more thing, and failing. So the same folk who support Trump and love it when he does that, when your kid shows up, all of a sudden, oh, that's not American. That's a problem. Tell us more. What's the problem with it? What's the difference? We don't see what it is. How is it okay for Trump and not for him? Why don't you tell us the difference? The inside analysis you'll see absolutely nowhere else. This one right here is kind of telling. It says, this was Tyler Shaw at the Combine, and he just got drafted to the New Orleans Saints. Before Shedeur Sanders, LMAO. I'm sorry, it's getting racist now. Now, people, you can take a look at that. Take a look at where he is throwing that ball. Take a look at where he's throwing that ball. You would have to be damn me the Flash to catch this thing. Does that fella need my glasses? Tyler, do you need my glass? Do you need the number to my optometrist? Clearly you do. Somebody get me his number from the coach's iPad. This will not be a prank call either, Tyler. I know you're going to feel like this is a prank call. I assure you, young man, it is not. You need my optometrist. Trust me, he's going to get you straightened out. There might actually be a good quarterback in there somewhere if you can get him with 20/20 vision. People, this is something on a gag reel. That was a gag reel. This is a gag reel performance. And by the way, this isn't his only one. Folks, the reason why people can find this video is because this isn't his only way of doing this. He's known for it. Oh, no. This isn't DEI, remember? This isn't DEI. You should be chosen on performance, remember? You shouldn't be chosen for the color of your skin. You should be chosen for performance. You should be chosen for performance, people, saying that performance doesn't matter. Yeah, the same folks who say you should only choose by performance. Okay, Shedeur is the best out there. Damn performance. Back the blue. January 6th. Damn the police. So, yeah, folks, right there, he is not seeing double. He must be seeing triple. He must be seeing backwards in time. This is not like 21, 24 vision. This is like 30, 30 vision. He's just throwing the ball at the little blur he sees down the field. He don't know which one it is. And I'm talking about, boy, he tried to put some heat on that ball. He had a full second to see in him. And okay,
He's gonna point.
faster. Hey, Jamal, if you had sped up a little bit, you could have caught that. Y'all, can you imagine what the Saints preseason is going to look like? Oh, man. Can you imagine what the Saints preseason is going to look like here? With Marty McPhail? Russell Wilson going to be sitting in Pittsburgh somewhere talking about, y'all let that damn Jason Black talk, y'all into not drafting me. Wish you would have done it now, don't you? Russell Wilson and Ciara going to come down here to the Superdome. She going to be twerking and blaming me. Yeah, y'all could have drafted Russell. At least Russell can throw the ball straight. Listen to that Jason Black messed up your whole team. Oh, boy. You got folks hating already. He built a custom draft room. I mean, take a look at this is what they're hating on. You're not broke enough. Hey, you're not struggling. You're too confident. If Donald Trump did this, they'd all be saying, they'd all be saying American. If this was Donald Trump, they would be saying American excellence and American exceptionalism. Remember? If this was Donald Trump and his Manning, they would be saying American exceptionalism.
I see your bitch ass at work.
Hey, if you're that good, no reason to hang, no reason to hide it. If you're that good, he's confident. Well, he's produced results. Self-professed Christians shouldn't be flashing briefcases of cash and rapping. You're not broke enough. Hey, yeah, y'all could have drafted Russell. At least Russell can throw the ball straight. Listen to that Jason Black messed up your whole teams. Oh, boy. You got folks hating already. He built a custom draft room. I mean, take a look at this is what they're hating on. You're not broke enough. Hey, you're not struggling. You're too confident. If Donald Trump did this, they'd all be saying, go MAGA. They'd all be saying American excellence. Ain't that right, Fox News? If this was Donald Trump, they would be saying American excellence and American exceptionalism. Remember? If this was Donald Trump and his kids, if this was Peyton Manning and Eli Manning, they would be saying American exceptionalism. Hey, if you're that good, no reason to hang, no reason to hide it. If you're that good, he's confident. Well, he's produced results. Self-professed Christians shouldn't be flashing briefcases of cash and rapping profanity while glorifying sex, money, and cars. Picture Shador Sanders with thousands of dollars in jewelry and $100,000 in cash at his NFL draft party where he performed his song, Perfect Timing. Let me get this straight now. Let me get this straight. The right-wing MAGA nuts, Donald Trump, whose key slogan from the previous election was grab him by the...
I'll see y'all at work.
He said if he's around the females, he's got authorization to just grab him by the... Remember? That was Donald Trump's theme song. Showing money, profanity. Are you kidding me? Donald Trump has spent the last 4 decades doing all of this, and oh yeah, isn't Trump Mr. Christian now? I'm just wondering, somebody go take a look at old John Root's profile and see if he's criticized Trump the same way, since very clearly being rich and profanity and glorifying sex and money is a sin. I wonder if he's got the same energy for, I don't know, somebody who has real power, the President of the United States, or if he considers that to be all good. That ain't no problem. Folks, this is how far unhinged they are. Straight over the edge. This is what they got to do. This is what they got to do here. Understand something. These are folks who never could play the sport. They're hoping for other things. They're hoping for other things. And the way in which you deal with this is that you outperform them. That's the way you deal with that. You outperform them. Now, glad Robert Griffith said this. Shedeur Sanders didn't need to be humbled. His confidence shouldn't offend your insecurities. His play showed that he should not have fallen out of the first 3 rounds of the draft. 1.6 million impressions. And that's another thing that we kept seeing here in the comments. I'm going to click on the post, but in the comments, you kept seeing people talking about, especially up here on the Sunshades MAGA up here, the Sunshades Maggots. He needs to be humbled. Shedeur needs to be humbled. Who the hell are you to talk about who needs to be humbled? Who the hell are you? What team do you play for? What team drafted you all up here?
Yeah,
fresh out of the 60 and Olders Club. What team drafted you?
None.
Talking about he needs to be humble. So Peyton Manning didn't need to be humbled. Ryan Leaf didn't need to be humbled. Andrew Luck didn't need to be humbled. Bryce Harper doesn't need to be humbled. Isn't that interesting? So the white athletes don't need to be humbled. Travis Kelce and his brother don't need to be humbled. He's sitting up here, remember, pushing the damn coach of the team, remember? At the damn Super Bowl. He doesn't need, you can't look up where they say any of these guys need to be humbled. Johnny Manziel, Aaron Rodgers, we can go down the list. None of them have ever said that those guys need to be humbled. So I would actually respect them more if they just said exactly what they mean. Look here, we gonna humble these niggas. I would respect them more if they did that. This would be a much shorter program if they said that. And we're not talking about somebody who's been in the league forever. He's not officially even there, really. Yeah, I mean, until you play, you're not really there. And already, they're showing you how much they hate on black children. Hate on black teens, not even black adults, because they've had this attitude since the young man got into college and was performing. They're showing you who they're targeting. They're showing you who they're after. They're showing you how insecure and vicious they are.
That's right. It's all on camera.
That if you're black and you're not insecure, then you need to be humbled by the Mayo militia. You need to be that. You need to be that.
I see all that work.
Good point. Colin Kaepernick got run out the league for taking a knee. Tim Tebow got celebrated for it. So, why didn't I say so? That is the rule. I'm white, and I say so. And to all of that right there, I say, Shador, you already know the deal. Your father already told you what it was. The only thing I would say to you is stop saying my dad. You don't have to link yourself to your father. You want to have your own performance. That's the only critique I would give you. Other than that, don't talk about it, be about it.